Hi and welcome back to my channel for another art journaling video. And today I'm playing in my 6x6 watercolor journal, and I'm just adhering some scrap papers with my glue stick. I'm using the Tombow glue stick because it works really good and the paper does not wrinkle. I must excuse that the camera sometimes shakes a little bit, but it's so windy here and I am on the attic with my studio and my camera is mounted to a wooden part of the roof, and so sometimes it seems to shake when the wind is very strong. Here I'm gluing down some pattern paper. I find this very interesting because of these eyes you can see. It looks a little bit creepy, but I think I will try how it looks on that finished page. And I just tear the paper into pieces and stick them down. Normally I would go on top with gesso at this stage, but I decided I will use some acrylic paint, and I picked this craft paint I have here for such a long time, and it has a satin finish and it looks like a tea tan buff color, I think. And I used that scraper to apply the paint. It's normally meant to be used in the kitchen, and I found a set of 5 on Amazon and I really love them to apply gesso or acrylic paint to a page. Finally, I had the feeling that it's a little bit too dark, and I go on top with gesso now and just cover some of the areas, not everything. This layering increases the dimension of the page. Today I decided to use the Woodys for my page to color it in, and I had them laying here for a long time now and I rarely use them, and I thought this would be a great idea. If you don't have the Woodys, you could also use the Neocolor crayons or the scribble sticks or your gelatos or distress crayons. Everything which is a waxy crayon and water soluble will work. I'm dipping my finger into water and blend the color on my page. If you would like to see close-up images of my work, you will always find a blog post about every project I'm posting here on YouTube, and it is always linked in the description box. When this layer is dry, I go on top with the Stabilo Woodys again and just add some scribbly marks. And I will also do some mark making with a black watercolor pencil. I always dip the nib of the watercolor pencil into water and then make my marks on the page, because you get a really deep black color. And something I also really enjoy is adding some texture with a stamp to the background. And here I'm using the old book page stamp from Rubber Dance, but everything will work. You can use any kind of pattern stamp you have and just stamp it randomly to your background. And here you can see me adding the marks with that black watercolor pencil. I have listed all the supplies in my description box, and you will also find a link to my Amazon storefront where I have listed my favorite products. My plan was to leave this background as it is, but I had the feeling that something white on top would look really good, so I picked out a stencil from Stencil Girl. It's the Picasso words, I believe, and it's designed by Carolyn Doobie, and I'm adding texture paste through it. It's a little bit tricky because my pages underneath are really bulky already and uneven, and that makes it a little hard to get a good pattern of that stencil. But I'm really happy how it turned out, and here you already see me arranging my I would say focal point or my main image to the page, and I have used the Loose Floral stamps from Rubber Dance. They are brand new and were just released, I believe it was 3 weeks ago. And I am arranging the flowers, and I always look through my camera to see what looks good and what doesn't. That works much better in comparison if I would look just directly on the page. The flowers are stamped with different colors of Memento Dye Inks, and I have colored them in with alcohol markers. To finish up the page, I just add a sentiment. I'm using the word spirit and glue it to the flower, and I have the feeling that there is something missing on the top left, so I'm adding the word art. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope we see us next time. Bye!